Kyle, does your thumbnail say bigger than Solana? Yeah, it does. Kyle, is that clickbait? No, it's not, guys. Probably most of you thought that there was not going to be another alternative layer one that would come close to Solana. It just has had so much time to mature. In fact, many out there were calling Solana the thing that's going to beat Ethereum, right? Be the number one smart contract platform in the world. Today, we're going to challenge that idea. And if you pay attention and you subscribe to the channel, you're going to have an opportunity to beat many people to many multi-million dollar opportunities here that are going to be life-changing. This is not clickbait whatsoever, guys. In fact, if you've been here watching this channel for a while, then hopefully you made the play when I first started talking about it. When I had the hints, the clue, and I had the general understanding why. But even in that video, I wasn't bullish enough. And so today, we're going to talk about what that layer one is and why it's so obvious. Also, over the weekend, guys, we had the halving, the Bitcoin halving. So supply shock is a real thing. And we also had the Runes protocol launching on Bitcoin as well, which we've also talked about before and had some phenomenal, insane, record-breaking days when it comes to Bitcoin transaction fees. We're going to talk about that as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I suggest that you get comfortable because today is not going to be a short one, but today is going to be a video that is so jam-packed with alpha that I tried to cut this down, and there's not 1 minute of this video that you're not going to want to watch. Even if this is the only video that you watch all week. If this is the only one I make all week. Yeah, I'm in Dubai at Token 2049. I'm exhausted. But this is going to be something that you're going to very much enjoy. And I very much enjoyed making it, or I'm making it right now and learning about it and talking about it. So without further ado, let's dive into it, guys. And first thing, as always, we're going to talk about the macro markets here. And my head's chopped off a little bit because what I was trying to do is show you what I was representing today when I was on stage. In crypto, we trust, baby. That's right. What's the motto? Trust. Verify, don't trust. That is our motto in this industry, and that's what we're doing. So let's move the screen back up. So I'm going to cut off there, and whatever. You can still see this is fine. You shouldn't look at me anyway. Look at okay, it's a Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin is going to be likely moving sideways for a while, and we'll get into exactly why that is here in a minute. But again, Bitcoin is going to be volatile and choppy for a while. I still have no long trades open, nothing like that. So, but the good news is that I think what we've seen, the worst of the grayscale days are behind us now, as we can see from this chart here, that you see there was many consecutive days here of negative net outflows, and we ended that on April 19th. And you can see here now we're back in positive for inflows. And we'll talk about how Grayscale is making a play here to actually change up their fee structure finally. This is not set in stone here. It's not done deal yet, but they had to put something down on paper when they filed this thing, whatever they're filing. And they put 15 basis points, which would make it the cheapest fees of all the ETFs. This isn't set in stone yet. It's not guaranteed. But I think that Grayscale had a plan the whole time. I don't know exactly what it was. It doesn't matter. But I think the worst of the hemorrhaging is over because you would have to be an idiot to sell your Bitcoin right now. You'd have to be absolutely stupid. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, what are you doing with your life? So where are we, guys, right now? So we are now here. You know, the first 4 years, every 10 minutes was 50 Bitcoin inflated into supply. The following 4 years was 25. The next 12 and a half. The next 6.25. And this is the era that we're entering into right now, where the supply reduction, the sell pressure essentially from miners has been cut in half. Let the games begin. Plus, never been such bullish adoption. As you can see here, guys, on this date, this is the revenue generated from the Bitcoin network of all time. Annihilated the record-breaking day over here. Annihilated by, I think, 3x or something. Why? It was runes. It was runes, and we told you guys about runes. And you can see here that this is the heat map, essentially, of and the mempool of right now. It's just insane amounts of transactions backed up on Bitcoin. But since, we're not going to go into the whole history of the block space wars, but it is what it is. It happened to be what it happened, and we have small blocks, and they're expensive, and people were worried that the revenue from miners would eventually, since the block subsidiary reward that is now 3.125 every block Bitcoin produced for miners, that eventually, and you'll see soon how, actually we just go back here and I'll show you how it gets reduced to almost nothing. Like the next halving will be 1.56, after that 0.78, 0.3, and then almost, as you get down here, it's almost no Bitcoin, right? So what happens? How do the miners make money? Well, it turns out that we're building stuff on Bitcoin other than just a currency, and it's happening. So I don't think that miners are going to be concerned about making money in the future moving forward. You can see this chart right here, what happened because of the now effectively it costs twice as much to produce a Bitcoin. Why? Because the rewards are 50% that they used to be, but yet energy and compute still cost the same. So what might happen here if this orange line surpasses the black line is temporarily some miners might switch off their gear because it's not profitable anymore, but the difficulty hash rate will decrease, price will go up, they'll flip the miners back on again, and then we'll go back to all-time highs, both with price and with hash power, securing the most amazing network in the world that's never been hacked, never gone down, unstoppable, unconfiscatable, the bee's knees, the Bitcoin. And this is why I stressed to you guys so many times. This is why we spend so much time that, yes, we are an altcoin channel. Yes, we want to make money. But yes, you guys have to understand the value of Bitcoin. It is absolutely imperative that you understand just how important this asset is. It is the asset in the world. So when you take your profits, guys, and maybe it's a little bit early right now, but I mean, no, it's not actually. Take your profits into Bitcoin, in my opinion. The name of the game should be accumulating Bitcoin until we start seeing some of these protocols having massive mainstream adoption, which is what I talked about today on stage here in Dubai. But, and I think that this season we might see some of that happening. But just so you guys have an idea where we are essentially here in this chopping sideways pattern. And so we can expect to see this kind of sideways range bound movement, as you see here last time, for a little while. Maybe it goes up, maybe it goes down, until it gets into this parabolic stage right here. And this is where you better have your bets placed. And what that narrative is, we have an idea. We've been talking about them for a long time, but that could change, right? And so that's why it's very important that you are subscribed to the channel so we can keep you updated. As we'll talk about in this video, being able to have a crystal ball and see into the future, which is what it is like to be me in a way, being a VC, speaking to VCs, understanding the narratives, looking at research, having a research team, making these videos. We're plugged in and we get to see more than most. And then you guys get to see here, just watch this video and go about your life and get all the alpha, which is insane. So if you guys appreciate that, make sure you destroy this like button and make you guys share my channel with all of your friends and family. Like, this is, if you care about them, this is the best thing that you can do for them. Like, we're bringing you literally insane alpha. Like, you just can't do this stuff on your own in the markets. And so I love you guys, and I hope that you share this with the people, your loved ones, your friends, your family, and make sure for those people that you don't like, you go show them BitBoy's channel. Hey, just gonna throw a jab back since he threw it at me randomly out of nowhere one day. Okay, so what is it? Well, Ali says here. So every time the Bitcoin, I'm not a technical analyst, but basically it says every time it flows below this 90-day average, it's been a good historical buying opportunity. And so is it, you've seen this range bound chart I just showed you, is it a good time to ape in to the markets right now? Not just Bitcoin, but altcoins, whatever. And again, like I usually will always defer to, is dollar cost averaging. It's your best bet. But yes, because it is below this blue line, historically, if you enter below this blue line, you're always on average 67% returns doing that. So, I mean, dollar cost averaging in right now into the markets, if you have cash, would be a good thing to do, in my opinion. So this is talking about the law of diminishing returns, which we've talked about often on this channel, which says that, Bitcoin did 92x after the first halving, 30x after the second halving, 8x after the third halving, and what is going to happen next? Is it going to be a 3x, or is it going to be a 30x, or and so most chartists and technical analysts will tell you that the law of diminishing returns always applies to a growing asset class, and that this should be no different. And this is why we're getting a lot of people expecting, something like a 3x, since the last one was 8x. So from all-time highs, and so we're looking at like a $160,000 to $200,000 Bitcoin. However, if you are, and I don't know, but if you fall into the camp that I do, then maybe it goes higher, right? Why? Because, like we've talked about, where else are you going to put your net worth right now? Are you going to put it in the Ponzi scheme of dollars? Are you going to put it in gold, which you'll see about in just a second, how now Bitcoin is less inflationary than gold? Are you going to put it in real estate that's overpriced? No. We've talked about this time and time before. You are here. Inflation for Bitcoin is extremely low right now, and eventually it's going to go to zero. And we do know that sometimes from time to time people do lose Bitcoin or whatever, and so it's pretty clear to anyone who doesn't have their head buried in the sand what's going on. To give you an example, I'm sure you guys have seen stuff like this before. Prices of a McDonald's in 1980. I don't know what prices of McDonald's are today because I haven't eaten there in like 20 years, but I don't know. What is a McDonald's? What is a ham? What is a quarter pounder with cheese? I don't know. It's probably like, I don't know, guys. Am I insane saying it's like $5 or something, or is it like 10 or 12 bucks? I don't know. But to give you a reference, that was just 30 years ago. No, 40 years ago. So it's not just, everybody knows that fiat is a scam. You have the central banks stocking up on gold. China stocking up on gold. Everybody's stocking up on gold, and obviously now Bitcoin is a superior version of gold. It's unconfiscatable. It's more scarce. It's easily transferable. It's more divisible. You can take it across borders and countries with you. It is better than gold. I still wear gold a little bit just in case because I like it. And you guys, by the way, if you want, when you make some money from this channel, you want to wear some gold so they have it on you in case there's an emergency or whatever. This is what I do. This is from a good friend of mine, Sam, the jeweler, the Master Ventures logo. He made, and from Didi, the Bitcoin family, made him some amazing pieces as well. So when you guys have some extra cash and you want to put it into, because I don't think that gold is still going to be forever a store of value. It's just not going to appreciate like Bitcoin is. But anyway, that's my little plug for Sam, because I do love this ring. Actually, I'm very proud of it. And I actually have a cool bracelet coming too that I'll show you guys in a bit as well. So as I told you guys before, because of this halving, Bitcoin's inflation rate has now become less than gold. And if it's not clear to you yet, yes, gold is inflationary because people are still mining it. And so they take the average that's newly mined every year and they give that, and it's an inflation rate. And now for the first time ever, Bitcoin's inflation rate is less than that of gold. Now, like I said in the last video, the purchasing power of the US dollar has decreased by 25% over the last 4 years. It's a lot. It's a lot. But it's nothing compared to what's going on in Argentina and other countries, where Argentina is 270% annual inflation right now. Like, that's insane, right? Can you imagine that your cost of goods increasing 300% every year with you making the same salary? What meme coin do you think this is? Oh yeah, it's the Argentinian peso compared to the Bitcoin. It is just up only. So of course, Bitcoin to Argentinian peso is all-time highs, annihilated all-time highs. This is, it's loading, here we go. Yeah, so BlackRock uses Bitcoin as an inflation hedge, as USD worries, and we know because you guys watch the show, you guys are smart, you understand that there's only one option moving forward right now, and that is for the United States to print more dollars because they are in insane debt, and the only way to pay the debt off is to print more dollars, which will again raise inflation, debase the dollar. Where are you going to go? What are you going to put your money into? Well, you're going to invest it in early stage startups through Commonwealth or through a little bit later, but still private market, paid network, or you're going to buy gold, you're going to buy Bitcoin, or maybe if you're more old school, you're going to buy gold, right? Like, you're certainly not going to keep it in dollars, and this is, and you're also not going to put it in government bonds anymore. After the United States just made this insane, and I'm not saying anything about I am apolitical when it comes down to Russia versus Ukraine versus Israel and Palestine. I don't get involved in that. I have no opinion on that. But this to me is insane. So the U.S. House has officially voted to transfer frozen Russian assets to Ukraine. This is a major blow to the willingness of foreign countries to hold U.S. treasuries. Of course, if I give you my money and you give me some sort of bond that gives me the right to redeem that money at a future time and earn interest, but I can't trust that when I go to redeem my bond that you're going to give me my money back because you transferred it to my competitor or something. Like, insane. Remember, guys, most other assets, I think actually anything that's not decentralized is confiscatable. Gold is confiscatable. Your bonds are confiscatable. Your yachts are confiscatable. But Bitcoin is unconfiscatable. And that's one of the many, many powerful things about it. Fred Krueger, the homeboy, says, from somebody I know that has $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, he says, I've been getting calls from the big banks to buy off market. You can post that. So we know, we talked about this channel before, that big banks are going directly to miners to try to buy Bitcoin because there's just not left on the exchanges, and the OTC desks are all running out of Bitcoin. Supply crunch. And now that we have less being produced every day, it's going to go even quicker. Look at this. You had 47,145 Bitcoin taken off of Coinbase in the last 30 days. And this is getting very real. Very, very real, ladies and gentlemen. So now what can we expect the price of Bitcoin to be? Well, let's look at some examples. If it's on the same trajectory, if it continues to be on the same trajectory as this law of diminishing returns, then we can probably expect Bitcoin to finish somewhere like around after the third halving here. And so maybe worst case is at something like 250 grand or something like that. But if it follows the trajectory of, let's say, the first halving, after the first halving, we're talking about over around $2.5 million per Bitcoin this bull cycle. If it behaves more like the 2017 bull run, then we're going to be somewhere around $500,000 per Bitcoin. Okay, so this is an interesting lesson to learn here about the mentality of how we need to perceive the crypto market when we are assessing it, right? And I'm just going to tell you the story. I think I'm not going to read all of the whole thread, but go follow the DeFi Edge and go read this whole thing. But I will tell you the gist of it. So John Maynard Keynes, the father of macroeconomics, was a terrible stock market trader or investor. His fortunes changed once he started studying beauty contests. You could use what he learned to improve your crypto trading. Here's a 2-minute story. The beauty contest, there was a newspaper game in the early 1900s. Readers selected who they believed were the 6 prettiest faces. The reader whose choices most clearly matched the 6 most selected women would win a prize. So, which strategy do people use? Number 1, the naive strategy. You choose the 6 faces that you think are the prettiest. The problem is you're assuming that everybody else has the same perception of what beauty is. If, for example, if you think that huge noses are hot, then, and other people don't, then you believe that your opinion is what everyone else is going to believe, which is not true. The second scenario is a more sophisticated strategy where you realize it's a popularity contest and evolve your strategy accordingly. I'm going to pick the faces that I think everyone else will pick. Smart. This can work if everyone else is using the same naive strategy. But the third approach is in the infinite loop. But what if other people are thinking the same thing and applying the same strategy too? We have reached the third degree where we devote our intelligence to anticipating what average opinion expects the average opinion to be. So when we compare that to the markets, he couldn't figure out why prices would rapidly rise and crash despite the strong underlying fundamentals not changing. He realized that emotions drive the markets and that stocks can become popularity contests. Successful investing is anticipating the anticipators of others, the anticipation of others. Crypto and beauty contests. My friend consistently loses more money in crypto. I've heard him complain multiple times. Why isn't the price going up? The fundamentals are so good that people want to spend more money on stupid meme coins and metaverse instead. Guys, it's a popularity contest. He may think his protocol is beautiful, but what if no one else does? Prices only go up if other people buy. This is a blind spot that some investors who are 100% fundamentally based or revenue based overlook. I used to definitely be guilty of the same way. They forget that people are not rational. Emotions drive the market. Retail doesn't care about the flywheel in a bull market, but they will if that tells a good story, right? What fundamentals did Dogecoin or Metaverse token have before they skyrocketed in the last bull run? Markets can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So anyway, I suggest that you read the rest of this, but the idea is like to look for the trend and get ahead of the trend is what we try to do here all the time on this channel. You guys who have been here for a long time know that. And I think we've done a phenomenal job. Like even our fund has been investing in DPIN for such a long time, and we can kind of see where things are evolving to. So now let's get into Runes. Runes launched on 4/20. So did the Gummies token, which congratulations. If you guys, I was sleeping, and I got an airdrop from having Tucker, but it was like a ridiculous. Anyway, if you guys are in it, it's insane. Congratulations. But on 4/20, we had Runes launch, we had Gummies launch, and with the halving. It was a bullish day here in Dubai. But just to quickly recap, if you haven't watched my last video on Runes, Runes is essentially fungible tokens, just like we have on Ethereum or Solana, whatever, on Bitcoin. Like no one ever thought that would be able to be done. But Casey Rodomore, same guy who created the Ordinals and BRC20 standard, or Ordinals, is put out this new standard that should probably replace BRC20s called Runes. And we've talked about that on the last show, guys. And I'm looking forward to getting my airdrops. And I think that Runes is an important thing to pay attention to. What we're going to talk about, guys, is Telegram. That's the one I was talking about in the beginning of the intro here. But Runes is also a brand new ecosystem where 1000x will be done by people. Like you will hear this, and this is just the ever expanding meme coin casino. Oh, grass, greens. So there's a lot of resources you can use to look at the Bitcoin ecosystem. But Runes is definitely going to be a hot thing. And if you don't hear a lot about it where you live, in the East, it's massive. Chrome says, did you miss the BRC20 tokens that made 10 to 100x? Don't worry. Runes were created to make you a millionaire this year. Take a chance. I've collected the best 5 runes with 1000x growth potential. And I'm not going to go through all of them, but guys, go follow Chrome 0x Chromium. But if anyone's watching this, please, if you guys know how the CyberKongz are able to participate, because they do have this thing, where is it? Ba, 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 da. So these are all the projects that they're talking about being bullish on. Anyway, so CyberKongz was a community that's supposed to get something. I hope that I did, and that I wasn't sleeping on it. But anyway, here's CyberKongz talking about it. And basically, you have the Prometheans testnet that's running right now. They're about to stop that and go to the Cayenne testnet, and then after this is done. Sorry, that was based AI. I got a little ahead of myself there. Because what is it called? Anyway, it's quite similar. But Prometheans is something that CyberKongz is doing on Runes. And if you're watching this, please explain to me if I'm eligible for it. That would be amazing, since I hold 2 of these OG CyberKongz and some of these other Kongs as well. And I'm not going to go over Runes, because if you haven't seen my last video on Runes, go do that. But some good places to go to get your Runes alpha. Runes Terminal, Runes Dex, Runestones, ord_io, Ordinox Labs, BitPerp, and others. So, yeah, so we have Runes, and they're big. You can see also that Magic Eden, like I showed you guys on the show, Magic Eden also supports the Runes ecosystem. Very innovative. Going to bring them a lot of volume. Quite cool. Now let's talk about the TON blockchain, guys. This is a big deal. If we have some volume.
Also, for me, it was never about money, right? So I have a few $100 million in my bank account or in Bitcoin since 10 years ago, and I don't do anything with it. I don't own any real estate, jets, or yachts. I don't think those this lifestyle is for me. I like to focus on what we are doing with Telegram.
You don't own anything? Like big assets? You don't own
no big assets. Exactly.
An island in Hawaii or
no land, no real estate, nothing.
Why?
Smart.
Well, because for me, my number one priority in life is my freedom. Also,
and if you have a house, it's a lot of maintenance, a lot of upkeep. You're bound to stay there. Like, I fully agree with this here. Like, if you guys are looking to buy a house, in my opinion, I would put it in the market. So let's listen to this. Like, this Pavel Durov guy from Telegram is brilliant, and this is why we're getting into the narrative here of Telegram and why it's going to be so big.
Organization, but how do you get new users if you spend zero money for acquisitions? If you're not advertising, if you're not paying to bring people in, how do you do that? How do you get to 1 billion for free?
But because people love our product. What we realized pretty early on is that people are smart. People like to use good things, and they don't like to use inferior things. That's why whenever you have a person who started to use Telegram, and they're there for a while, and they start to discover all the features, all their, the speed, the security, the privacy, everything that we have, they don't want to go back. And they start inviting their friends, recommending them, "Oh, you should really check this app out because it's so much better than everything else." And also because people realize that whatever messaging apps they're using right now, they're like 5-6 years behind. They're copying what we did 6 years ago, and that's not a very high quality copy that they make of our features. So people love quality. That's why they move. They also love the independence. They also love the privacy. They love the freedom. There are a lot of reasons why somebody would switch to Telegram from other apps.
So
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it was back in October when I showed you guys, I told you guys about this evolving narrative, right? Which is Telegram, and it's represented on the charts. We'll show you guys that in a bit here, but if you haven't done so yet, in a second here, you'll understand how to set up your wallets. It'll blow your mind how easy it is, and then you can send any assets in your wallets on Telegram to anybody else that's on Telegram for basically free, just by using their alias, right? Mine is @Kyle_Chasse. You could just send me crypto with that. You don't need this complicated, address to send. It is quite brilliant. Okay, so where are we? So you have the Bitcoin Halving and Runes launched. Let's discover the projects with the Runes protocol ecosystem for now, which is this. You can see it on Coinity Analytics. But like I said before, guys, I think that, should you go out and buy Wizard or whatever, I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities that are being built in this ecosystem, the Bitcoin ecosystem, that we can get in from the ground floor and absolutely crush it. So do you go buy rune stones? Do you go buy Wizard? Do you go buy pups? I mean, they're probably going to be good plays, but I think that real alpha here is paying super close attention to the Telegram or Ton ecosystem and seeing what projects are going to launch there and which ones are being supported by the foundation, for example. Those are going to be big ones. Those are going to be the 100x opportunities that hopefully we're able to offer you on Commonwealth and paid. We will get into that. So how can I find more information about runes? In my recent thread, as follows. Or you can find, and he says, how Bitcoin runes work, Bitcoin UTXO, transactionable model, the OP return, opcode, and benefits of Bitcoin runes. Whatever. Yeah, I'm at a hotel right now, so the TV, I had to rig it to make it now my screen here. But guys, if anyone's watching and is a fellow CyberKongz, I got 2 of these OG Kongs, and I hope that I didn't have to do some action before the snapshot. But if you have been watching my channel since over a year ago, then you will remember what I talked about. CyberKongz and pudgy penguins, these kind of things. But anyway, I have some CyberKongz, but I have no idea how to qualify for this. So hopefully, if anyone does it in the audience, please let me know in the description below. Be very appreciated. And this guy basically goes and showing you the different types of ecosystems here. So you've got rune stones and then Leonardus NFT. Anyway, you can go back and check this out as well. So some really essential ecosystem tools to use are things like Runes Terminal, Runes Dex, Rune Stones, Or.io, Orbinox Labs, and BitPerp. So these chains will be filled with smart dApps soon, and I think we're going to see massive migration of value, just massive transformation of value from everywhere else being sucked into either runes or Telegram, like we're going to talk about here in just a second, TON. But before we get to TON, let's finish Bitcoin. So Magic Eden, as I showed you guys in the last show, had incorporated a section just for runes. So make sure that you guys go pay attention to that if you are interested in alpha hunting some runes, because I think that's where the real money is going to be made. You're buying a little bit high now if you're buying gummy or whatever, right? Like it just, I mean, not saying that it can't go up another 20, 30x, but anyway, but if you are interested in these NFTs, the Ordinal NFTs or these, then go to Magic Eden, because Magic Eden will hook you up. They've already adapted it into their underlying infrastructure. So bullish Magic Eden, yay, congratulations. And I already talked about this. Okay. So, wait, where are we, guys? Here, oh, we're further along than I thought, thank goodness. Okay, so bullish projects on runes. Again, you got CyberKongz. There was more too, right? But like I said before, I don't think that all of those ones that are the most popular right now are going to be the ones that are the most popular in months from now. I think that maybe Brett being that's on base. What is the one on? I don't remember. It's I don't know. But anyway, guys, like this is where we're going to find the opportunities to absolutely crush it. Is the Telegram ecosystem as it's evolving. So Mert.Hila says, Canada has collapsed. Where do I go? Where do I go next and why? Dubai, New York, Austin, other, I don't know. But like, I had this conversation with a lot of people. This is why I left America to go somewhere else. I saw basically going down the drain when I decided to leave almost 7 years ago, and very happy with the decision I made. So we also covered this. I guess I got a lot of tabs open again. Where are we? So, yeah. Okay, where are we? So let's see.
Organization, but how do you get new users if you spend zero money?
Yes, he just says UX is phenomenal. It's better than everything else. Yes, so here was the news that was launched at Token 2049. Some of it. Why we saw so much excitement. It's Tether's grand plan. Tether and TON. Now you can essentially, so there will be native Tether on the TON blockchain, and you can send it anywhere in the world permissionlessly for free, basically. Think about all the disruption this will cause, from Western Union, MoneyGram, even XRP Ripple. No, like long gone are the days where you have to spend 10 or 20% of the money you're transferring from, let's say, US to Mexico or whatever. Now you can do it on Telegram for free and in a very easy way that anybody can understand how to do. So you have to understand that Telegram's wallet is not a third-party app. It's an official TON blockchain wallet natively integrated into the Telegram app. To access it, here you guys go. This is how you access it. You just proceed to t.me/wallet and press start. And that's it. And then you have your wallet on Telegram. So it's very easy. That's how it works for everybody. It's this account wallet abstraction kind of thing that we're super bullish on. This is showing you how much TVL essentially, or accounts, wallet growth and accounts. And you can see that there's been 600,000 in the last 7 days and 7.95 million TON also in the last 7 days that have come off the exchanges. So when it comes to TVL on TON, look at this chart. Have you seen a more bullish chart? Probably not in a while, right? And when we talked about TON the first time on this channel, that was back I think early November or something, right? So back when the price was under $3. So sometimes we'll make calls on this channel and we won't even know exactly how early we are. We'll just know that maybe we're early, right? And that's another lesson that you should learn here, is that when we talk about something, just because it doesn't pump maybe like the next day or the day after that, you might have to wait a while. But if you got into this TON when we talked about it back here, like around this time, something like that, you would have got in at a much cheaper market cap or valuation than you're at today. But it's still not too late, in my opinion, because massive onboarding hasn't even started to happen yet. They're doing liquidity bootstrapping, which is going to be smart. They're if you go stake your stable coins or your assets, then they're going to give you a boost on your APY through slight inflation in the economic model, but that can be absorbed with how much marketing firepower they have and what they've been doing with other people like myself to help bring awareness. And yeah, so anyway, that's that. Now, Rayan says, Telegram announces the integration of TON blockchain to enable ad welcome revenue or ad revenue, tipping to creators. Most exciting, the merchant purchase that will allow anyone to sell anything. Merchant purchase that will sell anyone sell anything. That sounds like Silk Road to me, but we'll see. Usernames can be purchased via EFTs, like the ETH, what this thing's called that we have. Anyway, who cares? It doesn't matter. Usernames can be purchased as NFTs. They are also tokenizing everything. Basically tokenizing everything. Right? We've heard Larry Fink talk about this, and it is a future of where we are going, like, without a doubt. Even Telegram is going to be tokenizing emojis. As you can see like this right here. USDT will now be a native on TON. Huge. All this will be done on the TON blockchain that may allow, that will allow circumvention around these centralized sources that have always choked us out before. This is why I got into crypto in the first place. Was Julian Assange, crypto, and WikiLeaks accepting Bitcoin for donations. And I like how Pavel Durov, the founder of Telegram, refuses to comply with three-letter agencies that are always asking him for information. He's saying, sorry, guys, can't do that. No. So the point here is, guys, is that this is going to be massive, 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 the entire Telegram ecosystem. So what we want to do now is, we're not going to talk about in this video, but we're going to start looking for the plays in Telegram that we think are going to be huge. In fact, I've made bets on some of them recently, and very excited to see how this plays out. Why? Because Telegram has 1.25 or something million people and downloads, right? And they have 900,000 monthly active users. It's almost 1/8 of the world's population. Probably by next year they have 2 billion, and the next year after that they probably have 4 billion. And soon enough, everybody will have the Telegram app, and it'll be so easy to stay in the Telegram app and do all kinds of cool things. I think on the notes here, it talks about, let's see, what else? Also staking goes live today on Telegram as well. So you can stake your USDT and get a bunch of interest, or you can stake your TON and get rewards as well. And what else is going on here, guys? I don't know. That's gonna be it. I'm starting to lose my mind. It's tired. It's tired. 5:30 in the morning. But this is it, guys. TON. Remember, sometimes we talk about things very, very early. This happened to be one of them back here in October, November, when I was trading at $2, right? A 3x from here. And I think this thing is just getting started. It's absolutely going to skyrocket. When you have the ability for people who to essentially already have the wallets to be able to send it to people without the complex string of characters, this thing is going to get completely eat market share. The user experience is phenomenal. It's fast, it's cheap, it's built in, it's safe, all these kind of things that Pavel was talking about make it special and unique as it is. And for that reason, guys, I highly suggest that you start going and exploring the TON ecosystem, and let us know in the comments below what projects, if any, over there you are bullish on, or what your thoughts are on this whole entire narrative anyway. All right, guys, with that being said, I'm out. I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.